Once again, every Wednesday morning in Seoul, we we conduct we are conducting an international seminar for our students, and I am inviting a very capable researcher from all over the world uh, concerning on tourism field as well as other business field. So this is a really great platform for students and professors, including me, and catch up the new trend and the methodology. And also, you can be able to understand the status of top tier journals uh, and the relatively, we must understand how well top tier journals is presenting to us. Okay, today I'm inviting the Haiyang Xia. Recently I worked with him, and he is just graduated from Australian National University, which is the top school in Austria. So let me introduce him to you. Dr. Haiyang Xia is uh, Research School of Management of Australia, National University. He currently is sessional, what is that? Sessional lecture in Business Information Systems at Australia National University and Associate Teaching Fellow at Deakin University. Uh, Haiyang's research interests include robust artificial intelligence, machine learning, data mining, and the application in tourism hospitality management and business analytics. He has published 29 papers, including 15 in AA journals such as IEEE NLS, JTR, ATR, and IJHM. Two of these papers were recognized as best papers of the year. Wow, good. Haiyang is a reviewer for several leading journals, including Tourism Management, Annals of Tourism Research, International Journal of Hospitality Management, and Current Issue in Tourism. He also is a member of the program committee for various international conferences, including PAKDD and KSE. What's that? Anyway, and also I'm very privileged to join his doctoral committees and from virtual uh, connections. So it's very honored to join doctoral committee in Australian National University. Okay, please welcome Dr. Haiyang Xia. Stage goes to you. Okay, let me share. Okay.
Thanks, Professor Tomo, to have me here, and thanks for inviting me. So I will share my screen and start the presentation. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Good. Mm.
Good. So great. So the title of my today's presentation is AI-based method in tourism and hospitality research. And before start today's presentation, so firstly, I would like to thank Professor Chomo for inviting me to deliver this presentation, and also thanks for Professor Chomo's guidance and also the collaboration effort in several projects that we recently working on. And also, I would like to thank my co-authors because the papers studies that are present today is not my own work, so it's actually a collaborative team effort. So I appreciate their guidance and support on me and to develop such kind of fantastic research. So my courses involved in today's project is Professor Gonglin from the Deakin University and Associate Professor Birgit Mascata from the Australian National University, Associate Professor Kwang Wu from the Deakin University, and Dr. Chen Lei from the Curtin University, Australia. So this is actually the outline of my today's presentation. So firstly, I would like to quickly introduce myself, but the Professor Chomo have introduced me So I will quickly skip that part. And then I will give some background information about AI and AI in tourism. And after that, I will provide overview of my research, and also this is actual overview of the existing AI method used in the tourism and hospitality research from the data analytical perspective. And after that, I will present in detail two of my research projects. So one is an empirical study that shows how AI method can be used to conduct empirical study in the tourism and hospitality industry. And the last one is a literature review. So I'm showing that how AI method can be used to review the literature. After that, I will provide a short conclusion of my presentation and discuss some of the, we say, the potential future research directions. So I feel that that will be helpful. So yeah, let me, okay, continue. So I will start. For introductions, who am I? So Professor Tomo have also already introduced me. So generally, I'm currently a sessional lecturer in Business Information System at the Research School of Management, Australian National University. So my research topic is covers AI-based data analytics, and also their applications in the tourism and hospitality, and also general management context. So the first question, also first concept that I would like to cover today is actually what is AI? Because we're actually talking about AI in several occasions in medias and in book chapters in several channels actually. So a robot is an AI, or we say a software, just like ChatGPT or DeepSeek is AI. So, so actually there is no clear definition of AI in the literature. So AI was actually a concept that introduced in the 1956 at the Dartmouth conference. So it can be simply understood as an area of computer science. So that actually emphasizes creation of intelligent machines that react like human. So generally, what means a intelligent machine? So intelligent means that this machine is able to produce response that are indistinguishable from those of a human. So then how can we test whether a machine can produce with the response that are distinguishable from that of human? So generally in computer science, we have a test, what called the Turing test. So the Turing test is introduced by the Alan Turing, and he is actually the father of the theoretical computer science. So generally, we're using the Turing test to test whether a machine can produce responses that are indistinguishable from those of a human or not. So generally, if a machine, this machine can be a robot and also can be a software system. So if a machine can pass the Turing test, we actually can call it AI. So which means that ChatGPT and also several of the robots we see every day is actually what we call AI. So for the robot, because it has physical body, so we actually call this kind of AI as embodied AI. And for software systems, just like ChatGPT, we actually call them non-embodied AI. So then what kind of ability would a machine need to have to pass the Turing test? So generally, a lot of the abilities actually required, just like the natural language processing and knowledge representation, automated reasoning, and also the image understanding. So this is just a few, but of course, there have a lot of the capabilities required. So this is actually a general concept of AI. But from a research discipline perspective, or we say AI as a research discipline is actually include diverse domains and technologies. So for example, we have the deductive reasoning and the problem solving, knowledge representation, computer vision, machine learning. So machine learning have the supervised learning, supervised learning, reinforcement learning, and also we have natural language processing, social intelligence, and so on. So all these technique, all we see that all these technologies is actually we say AI related, or we can call them AI. So from a research perspective, so we can see that AI is actually a very diverse discipline. It includes a lot of things. If we check in the history, yeah.
I have a question. Previous slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So AI as a research. No, next.
Next one.
Next one. Okay, this one. 3.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is as we seeing now is very wide and various field.
Yeah.
So as a research of tourism field
Yeah.
and business,
Yeah.
where we
we
are approximately. So what kind of can we do research, not focusing on technology itself, but anyway, we adopt the technology or algorithm for our field. So what kind of things is closely related to our field?
Yeah, I will introduce this concept later.
Okay, okay.
But generally, for in our field, we actually focus on all the machine learning and natural language processing related algorithms. So in currently AI in tourism field is mostly related to computational algorithms that we can use.
Okay,
Natural language processing, computer vision is also related, just like
computer vision. Okay.
Computer vision is related to identify an image, just like we can let AI to say things. Natural language processing is related to AI's ability to understand the textual data. So we actually is also useful. And also machine learning obviously is also related to us. So we can use supervised learning, supervised learning to do analysis. Reinforcement is also relevant. And deductive reasoning and the problem solving sometimes relevant, but not too much. But for knowledge representation, obviously, is also relevant because the data that we analyze or the knowledge that we have actually identified. Generally, we need some kind of representation technique to help to better visualize or we say the easy to understand by the others is also relevant. For planning, sometimes it's also related to management research, how to better plan these things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Thomas, for the questions. So if you check in the history of AI, so AI is actually evolved from what we call the deductive rule-based models to inductive learning-based models. So back to the 1950s, when the concept of AI was firstly introduced. So from the 1950s to the 1980s, researchers actually focused on develop what we call the rule-based method. So in rule-based method, AI is actually implemented by using explicit programmed if-then rules to make decisions. Just like if tomorrow is sunny, then AI saying that let's play badminton or something like that. So in this period, AI is actually not that intelligent, frankly speaking. This is actually a hard code approach of the human knowledge to the AI. The problem here is actually many things are not very difficult to define using the rules. Just like how can we until we say the AI to identify a person from image, what we need to check in first. We need to check in there is something have one head or have two arms. So it will be very difficult. So from the 1980s, so researchers actually now transfer the attention to the learning-based models. So for learning-based models, researchers define the method of learning. So in this kind of learning method, machine learns from knowledge automatically from the data. So obviously, this is a better approach to implement AI. So the intelligence of AI has actually flourished at that time. So we actually that is actually what we call machine learning method. So it's generally developed from the 1980s. And also you may know the words of the deep learning. So deep learning is a kind of machine learning method that focus on develop what we call deep neural networks. So a specific kind of method, but they actually show very high accuracy in implement a lot of the tasks. So that is about the relationship between this kind of the commonly used or with commonly had and the concepts related to AI. So currently, the most popular AI method that we use today is actually, or we hear today is generative AI. So we hear generative AI every day, right? Then what is generative AI? So generally, generative AI is a type of AI that can generate complex and structured content. So the complex and the structured content is just like the articles, images, audio, video, and code. These are actual examples of the structured content. So the core idea of the generative AI is actually learn the underlying data structure, or sometimes we call the distribution of the original data, and then produce new examples that are similar to the data that have been seen. So generally, generative AI normally have a very huge, we say, the training database. So generative AI, yeah.
You are now explaining very well about the concept of generative.
Yeah, AI.
And why we don't use creative AI?
Creative AI, then there's actually debate whether generative AI have creative or not. Can generative AI
Actually, generative AI is we're collecting data from the source, and which is actually is not original. We get the data from website, and which is already there.
Yeah.
We are making sentence based on LLM model.
Yeah.
And then which is a generative the contents that I place order.
Yes.
So we can say that is generative. So like a generation by generation, like your mother and father making you, there is generation, not the creation. The God create us. There is is non-existence to the existence. So exactly that concept is generative as much applicable to generative AI rather than creative AI.
Creative AI.
Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. But actually, in computer science, we actually have a lot of the researchers discussing whether generative AI has ability to create or not. Someone says that, someone says not. So it's actually still debating. But from my perspective, generative AI obviously can create some things from something that may new, but not creative from the zero accuracy or creating things from vacuum, obviously. So thanks, Professor Chomo, for the comments. So generative AI is actually belongs to the deep learning, we see the models actually. So for AI methods in tourism, hospitality, and the management research, so generally they represent a diverse spectrum of computational techniques, or we say the computational algorithms. So AI method is actually equals to computational techniques in our field. So this including the machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, outline detection, deep learning, and also generative AI. So these all relate to us. And then for the characteristics of AI method used in the tourism, hospitality, and the management research. Firstly, most of them actually involve analyzing large volume of data, but just most of them. Some of them can also use analysis, we say, the very small data source, data set. And another characteristic of this existing method is sometimes or some methods are computational intensive. So which means that you need high performance CPUs or you need high performance GPUs to run this kind of the algorithms in your analysis, especially if you have large, we see the data set. And suppose that you have a movement patterns about 1 million, we see the people in a specific city. if you want to tracking or analysis the tourist behavior, so generally you may need, we say, high performance CPUs and high performance GPUs to support your analysis. So that is the AI method in the tourism, hospitality, and the management field. So there are actually several advantages of the AI method when we compare this method with the traditional qualitative and quantitative method. So firstly, AI method is evolved to processing high-dimensional and unstructured data set. That traditional method, just like qualitative method, cannot handle efficiently or accuracy. So suppose that if you want to do the coding, do the qualitative coding on text or data, on interview transcripts or the image, obviously you need extensive, we say the human resources, or you need a long time to do this kind of labeling task. But AI can do this kind of things very efficiently. And also, AI method is able to identify complex and nonlinear relationship and predict, we see the future outcomes with very high accuracy. So if you check in the latest literature about the tourism demand forecasting and hotel demand forecasting, so most of them is actually using the AI-based methods. They're actually using deep neural networks to help to forecast the tourism demand. They show very high performance of a high accuracy. And the AI can discover surprising patterns, trends, and insight without relying on the predefined hypothesis. So if we check in the quantitative research, obviously we start from the hypothesis development. Obviously, this is a very solid research domain or research discipline. But one potential problem is actually if we focus on solely focus on the hypothesis development, then hypothesis development mostly comes from existing theory, which may limit the way of thinking and how can we see the phenomena. But if you use an AI method that can discover some surprising pattern from the data, so we actually let the data to have chances to tell us the story. So yeah, sometimes there are surprising, we say or interesting, we see the research comes from this kind of data-driven method. And also AI can analyze data in a real time and near time manner. This actually enables to identify the real-time insight. That is important for tourism and hospitality research because most of tourism and hospitality products, they are perishable. So which means that the number of tickets we need sold tomorrow is actually significantly different with number of tickets we can sell in a month later. For the traditional method, just like generally, if you want to connect with, say, some interview transcript, you may spend 1 month or 2 months. It will be difficult to get real-time insight. But for AI method, that can support real-time analysis if you have the data. And also, AI method can achieve multimodal, we say, the data analysis in one framework. So this kind of the analysis, multimodal data analysis is a bit challenging for traditional method, just like the qualitative method or quantitative method. They actually, if you want to combine these two, that will be slightly difficult, we could say. So given these advantages, AI method has been increasingly popular in our field, in the tourism, hospitality, and even the general management field. So the number of publications in that area has been increased significantly. And also, obviously, they have been applied to explore a variety of the research problems, just like the tourism flow prediction, hotel profitability prediction, tourism demand forecasting, customer segmentation analysis, and also in my research, I using this kind of the AI method to explore hotel and the tourist destination competitiveness. So,
okay, Haiyang.
Yeah.
Before we move, I wanted some question about the previous slide. This one, okay. Here, our students who are studying tourism and hospitality. And their domain knowledge and pretty much a contextualized knowledge, information, and domain knowledge is relatively is majoring on that field.
Yep.
And we are no like something like a text. We're using a lot text, like
Text.
online
Yeah.
review contents. We definitely we take a look TripAdvisor online review before we booked, and the image there, like a
Yeah.
UGC image, and definitely people using a lot the Instagram and TikTok social
Yep.
medias. So these are all of the 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 technology driven information, contents and processing from our smartphone.
Yep.
And we are very much enjoying that kind of a, you know, behavior and tools for our tourism choice and the selection for items.
Yep.
So we can say that is an unstructured database,
Yeah.
not a structured database
Mm.
set. So like a structured database is kind of a data in Excel sheet by numeric numbers sort of things. There is a structured data set. But this is not a unstructured. But this is becoming much more important to identify uh, travelers' motivation and desire and and the reasons to do that, right? That's why this unstructured data set is critical for researchers and industrial practitioners, right?
Yeah.
And
Um,
also is you said high accuracy for predicting future outcomes. So why you say non-linear relationship? We can say linear relationship, either non-linear relationship.
uh,
Why is that?
this is actually because for traditional methods, just like we're using regression, it can help to identify linear relationship, right? But for nonlinear relationship, then traditional methods not working well. They
Uh-huh,
cannot identify, they actually cannot predict with high accuracy. But
uh-huh,
for AI, both linear and nonlinear, they can handle quite well. So that's
uh,
why we emphasize nonlinear, because this nonlinear cannot be handled by traditional method actually.
okay. And also surprising patterns. So if we can do analyze well from social media data or text-based media data, something like that, we may find out something surprising patterns from there and the
Yeah.
insight from here, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And the real-time base or near real-time base, which means is promptly we may finding out the tourist demand and the desire, and then we apply that pattern to our marketing strategy
Yeah,
uh, right after analyzing.
yeah.
Okay.
Right after we connect in data. So
Okay.
theoretically, if we have the tourist behavior data today, we
Uh-huh.
have platform, or we have, we say, an app that connect that kind of data. We actually do
Uh-huh.
the forecasting for tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
The accuracy will be quite high.
Uh-huh. So the next slide, you are showing us that the previous study about
Yeah.
those method and tools, but it's quite very, difficult for students who study on tourism and hospitality, and typically. Like you are study on the computer science language, and you can do this kind of method for our field.
Yeah.
What should we do?
But I guess one potential way is actually for collaboration.
Okay.
And because interdisciplinary collaboration will be important for our field, because we always have something don't know. And for the students in tourism hospitality field, I think because they have received systematic training, they actually understand the phenomena and the problem in the tourism hospitality well. They actually not understand what kind of the problem is faced in the industry, what is important the problem need to be solved. And then they can leverage technology to help them to solve this kind of the problem. And the first one is collaboration, and second one is actually generative AI provide new opportunities for us. Because for a lot of the algorithm, they are quite complex. They need the learning cost is high. But for generative AI, it actually provide us some opportunities. We can use it directly. So that is actually some new trends. So technology or the coding will be not only available for those technical guys. So for a student in tourism and hospitality major, I believe that maybe 5 years later, you can use the generative AI solely to do this kind of analysis without to learn the complex, we say the technical details actually. That will be a kind of tool.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
So generally what you're talking is actually the disadvantage of the AI method. One most significant disadvantage here is actually the learning cost. The learning cost is high. They have a strong barrier here. But yeah, with new technology, I don't think that will be a problem in the long term actually.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Let's, I think I will move on. Yeah. So from the data analytical perspective, so the existing, we say the AI method used in tourism, hospitality, and even general, we say the management field can be classified into 4 categories. So the first one is about descriptive AI method. So descriptive AI method aims to capture the pattern in the data to help researchers understand what happened. So it aims to understand what question, so what happened, what is kind of behavior is we can observe from the data. And the next one about inquisitive AI methods. So inquisitive AI method aims to explore the data to understand why something happened. So it's generally about explain, it answer the why questions. This is about inquisitive AI method. And then the next one is the predictive AI method that what focus on predict what will happen based on the historical data. So in the previous slides, we see a lot of the predict, just like predicting the tourism demand, predicting the, we say the hotel demand. This is actually all using the predictive AI method. They predict what will happen in tomorrow. And the next one, or the last one is prescriptive AI method. So prescriptive AI method aims to determine the causal effect between certain kind of actions and the result to explore the best action for some expected outcomes. So prescriptive AI method aims to answer what should do in specific, we see the context. Just like if I want to go to Seoul to have a tourism, to visit some, we see the friend, what I could do. And what is the best, we say the cheapest, we see solution or the high experience solution, something like that. To understand what should do. So this kind of AI method, we call it prescriptive AI method. So we have these 4. And yeah, any other questions before we move on? So.
Any questions?
Any questions before we move on? So that is the most, I would say, the basic part or most important part in today's presentation, actually. No? Great.
Okay.
If not question, let's move on. So then, based on this, we see the typology. So I will quickly review give a review of my research. So for my research from this data analytical perspective, most of them is actually focused on using the descriptive AI method, but with some focus on inquisitive, predictive, and the prescriptive AI method. So the research phenomenon that I'm interested in is mostly about competitiveness in the tourism and the hospitality industry. And and also some relate to the smart hotel. So my main contribution of my research and also this line of the AI-based tourism research is bridging the AI-based data analytical method with the tourism and hospitality research. So this can provide unique methodological contributions to the tourism and hospitality literature. So most of them still using the quantitative method and qualitative method. With this new, we see the methodological contributions, we actually can solve some of new problem. And this actually enable us to make unique theoretical and practical contributions in the field. So because we have new methods, they even can solve some of problems that cannot be solved by existing methods. So that is about the main contribution of this line of research. For descriptive AI methods, so one example of my study using the descriptive AI method is actually is a destination competitiveness literature review. So this is actually a literature paper. In this paper, I'm using the model-based computational literature technique to review the rich destination competitiveness literature. So I will introduce the detail of this study later. So generally, computational literature based on popular modeling give us the opportunity to review a large number of publications that cannot be reviewed by traditional literature review method. So I will introduce in detail this study later. And so generally in this study, I actually reviewed more than 1,000 publications on destination competitiveness that actually identified several promising research directions that can be pursued in future destination competitiveness research. And another example of my study that using the descriptive AI method is about analyzing employee experiences to improve hotel competitiveness. So generally in this paper, I'm using the aspect level sentiment analysis and the emerging pattern mining technique to identify what factors that relate to hotel employee selective and also the change in factors caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. So aspect level sentiment analysis is actually a fine granular sentiment analysis technique. So it aims to identify aspects discussed in the sentence and their sentiment. So we're checking that we have example here. We have a sentence. The ambience was nice, but the service was not so great. So this is actually, you can consider that this is the comment we get from TripAdvisor, right? This kind of technique aims to identify what aspect that discussed in that sentence. So here is the ambience and also service and also the sentiment to that ambience, to that aspect. That's the positive to ambience and also the negative to the service. So this is actually about the aspect level sentiment analysis. For emerging pattern mining is a data mining technique aims to identify the changes and the emerging patterns in the longitudinal data. So in this study, actually
okay, before
yeah.
Okay, probably as a human, we understand very well that ambience was nice, but the service is not so great.
Yeah.
We can compare and the comparison result between two meaning. Anyway, the computational the analytics, we calculate this sentence and this sentence, and we can get the final score from this comparison. Is that right?
Yes, we can actually.
Okay.
Mm.
But people, human, we can smell on from this sentence. Okay, ambience nice, but service is not so great. Then probably we may hesitate to book this hotel.
Yes.
Right? But computation are giving us their answer by scoring and numbers.
Yeah.
So certain level of numbers is below to average, then we may not, right?
You mean we may not booking, right?
Yes.
Booking a hotel.
Okay.
Yes, but this is actually some of the studies they doing this kind of research. They from the textual data to analysis the intention of tourists will book specific hotel or not. Okay. And also some of study they using this kind of technique to analyze whether we say a restaurant will survive or not. So it's actually doing what they call the restaurant survival prediction. So generally, if the analysis of this technique of the sentence or comments is good, they actually have a data that's showing that whether this restaurant will be survive or not in the maybe in the next 3 months by training a huge data set, by seeing that kind of reviews. Then they were able to predict whether we say the restaurant will be survive in the next 3 months or not.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So yeah, so this is some of the study that I have done, but I will introduce this study in detail later on.
Okay.
So originally in this paper, I have analyzed more than 25,000 received employee reviews on the Glassdoor. So this paper is actually identified the detailed strategies that can help hotel managers understand their employee experiences and help to improve competitiveness. So this is about descriptive AI method. It's about focus on describe what happened in the data and then to support decision-making accuracy. And the next question, one example of my study that using inquisitive AI method is about identifying the hotel competitive advantages and disadvantages. So in this paper, I actually applied what we call outlining aspect mining technique to identify the aspects that can best differentiate a hotel and serve as competitive advantages, or we say the disadvantages. So outlining aspect mining is actually a data mining technique that explains why an object is different from the others. So why a hotel is different from its competitors. So because it have low, we say the rating for the service, or it have low rating for the cleanliness. And so yeah, so in the outlining aspect mining technique is actually aimed to identify a subspace. So subspace is actually a combination of features that can better differentiate a hotel and also and others. So by applying the outlining aspect mining technique on more than 600, we say the Hong Kong hotels on Booking. So the result actually by the competitiveness and disadvantage of the hotel that I'm focused on. So inquisitive method to identify the competitive advantages and disadvantages of specific hotels. So generally, it aims or it focuses on explain why this hotel is different with others. It's a competitive advantage or it's a disadvantage. So that is about this study. And an extension of this study is still using the inquisitive AI method. So in this study, we aim to identify the hotel brand competitive advantages and the disadvantages. So in this study, we actually proposed group outlining aspect mining technique to identify aspects that can differentiate a hotel brand, because a hotel brand is actually contains a group of hotels that can serve as the brand competitive advantages or the brand disadvantages. So yeah, we actually propose the group outlining aspect mining algorithm and then apply this algorithm to identify the subspace that can better differentiate a group of hotel. It's actually we call it a hotel brand. That can help to the managers to shift their branding strategy actually. So we analyze the ratings, or we applied this technique on 10 Hong Kong, we see the hotel brand on Booking. So the result actually revealed the competitive advantages and disadvantages of the specific hotel brand. So which is valuable to help this hotel brand improve their competitive actually. So this is some study that using the inquisitive AI method. One example of my study that using predictive AI method is about tourism demand forecasting. So obviously it's a forecasting. Predictive method in most of the cases has been used to solve these forecasting problems actually. So in this study, we actually proposed the cultural enhanced time series forecasting method. We're using this method to forecast the tourism demand. We actually analyze the search engine data and also the tourist arrivals in Macau. So results actually show better tourism demand forecasting performance than many commonly used methods in the literature, just like Lasso. And also some of other statistical methods like ARIMA. So the performance advantage of our methods comes from the capability of a model to capture the causal relationship between the such keywords. So by capturing causal relationship between such keywords, we actually can improve the forecasting method of the tourism demand. So the reason we say, I think the recent literature on tourism demand forecasting using AI method is mostly focused on explanation of why this kind of the forecasting has been made. It's focused on the explanation part of the forecasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah.
As you know, we are supposed to hold a conference in December.
Yeah.
So Macau is one of the very best, well-known the city for casino and
Yeah.
gambling. So probably a lot of people visiting Macau because of casino, the causal uh, uh, from my the
Perspective.
personal and then Macau are supposed to bring more event and mice conference and visitors using of casino, something like that. And also Macau is quite sort of things. That's the main source of a causal relationship for visiting Macau. But relatively the minor causality like a Hong Kong related keyword or something, politic keyword because of Hong Kong is somewhat, strain relationship with mainland China these days, uh, last couple of years,
Yeah.
and optionally Macau becoming more,
Mm.
invested place from the mainland China. So probably when we analyze this kind of causal relationship, I think there is a major causal reasons and minor causal reasons, and also there can be a combination effect between major and minor causals and dependent variable.
Mm.
What do you think? This is a theory from the Buddhism,
Yeah.
causal inference. Buddha, uh, he addressing the Yangiron. There is the causal uh, causation and causal relationship.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, the Buddhism uh, telling us that everything is there is something reason for that. There is a causation and causal, conference. But anyway, that philosophy, if I apply for this statistic computational method, there must be something a similar result, like what Buddhism say: major contribution, minor contribution, or combination effect.
Weak. Yeah. Weak.
Uh-huh. What
So
do you think?
yes, yeah, yeah, yes. So generally, in this paper we have developed, we actually most focus on improving the performance of the treatment demand forecasting. But we're checking the latest paper on the top tourism related journals using this kind of the computational method. They focus on what Professor Chomo have suggested, explain why the tourists with your forecasting is like that. Why the tourists come to Macau and you forecast with maybe the 10,000 is 70,000 comes Macau for casino purpose, or with another 3,000 comes from other visiting purpose. They actually have such kind of recently research all focus on this kind of area. Generally explain why. Because previously we've seen that, okay, your AI method have high accuracy, great. Then why? Why? So the leading on the latest research is actually focused on solving this puzzle actually. So one example of my paper that focus on using the prescriptive AI methods is actually about the destination competitive improvement. So in this paper, I'm using the counterfactual reasoning-based AI algorithm to identify the aspects that can enhance to improve a destination's competitiveness. So counterfactual reasoning is the ability of humans to imagine possible alternatives to life events that already occurred. So counterfactual reasoning AI algorithm enable researchers to identify possible actions to achieve specific outcome using algorithm simulation. So generally, in this paper, the possible outcome is actually to improve the competitiveness of a specific destination to the expected level. So that is about this study. And in this study, I have analyzed more than 12,000 tourist reviews from the four Australian tourist destinations. So the result identified a targeted strategy that the four destinations can adopt to improve their competitiveness for different groups of tourists. So for example, this result actually showing that for the group 1E, the Great Ocean Road, and if we improve the service to a certain level, then tourists will be satisfied. That will become the destination will be competitive and or attractive to this group of tourists. So that's about the prescriptive AI method. Yeah, any questions before we move on?
So the counterfactual reasoning
Yep.
is we can say there is a difference in difference method.
Yeah, very similar, I could say. Very similar.
So like a difference in difference is there is a treatment group and control group.
Counter group.
Okay, control group is as it is naturally.
Yep. Yep.
And the treatment group is something shock
Yep.
before and after.
Yep.
So
Yes.
the shock is whether it's shock the impact positively, negatively, whatever. Well, especially policy case.
Yep.
Like if we policy certainly apply for a certain moment and then things change because of that policy.
Yep.
So that means we have to compare. In order to understand that policy effect, we have to
Yep.
compare before and after. No, before and after, and comparison group. There is control group, right?
Yes.
So that control group can be counterfactual stuff.
Counterfactual stuff. Counterfactual generally means that control group is from simulation because
Okay, from
before
simulation.
that from simulation because we don't know because this kind of measure haven't been implemented. We don't know what will happen in this control group, right? So we actually using simulation to simulate what kind of OEC the treatment effect will in this kind of the contrast group actually. Then we calculate the difference in difference.
Actually, in the business analytics, there are difference in difference. They are finding something very similar case for investigate on difference in difference.
Yeah.
Like okay, I adopting Seoul case,
yeah,
and I finding the Hong Kong,
yeah,
and to compare to those two cities.
yeah,
Okay, Seoul is much larger than Hong Kong's, and probably we may compare Hong Kong and Singapore.
yeah,
So
yeah,
very much is similar to shopping city. Then we can say, okay,
mapping.
in order to understand the Hong Kong, the policy shock, and we may analyze Singapore case. But there is a real data, but
Yeah,
your
yeah,
case is making the simulation
yeah,
data
yeah,
using computational.
method. You can see.
Okay,
We call it the counterfactual.
that's the we call the counterfactual,
Yeah, because it's not factual. It's not
not
real.
factual. Okay.
So but
Is
actually,
it what the reviewers say about that simulation counterfactual? Some people may not agree with that counterfactual reasoning because is generated by
simulation.
simulation.
Yeah,
It's not real.
yeah. So so firstly, this kind of the even is counterfactual. So they have rigorous we say the theories behind there to make sure that the counterfactual is very similar to the matching of the sample that we find in the real world. Obviously, from theoretical perspective, this kind of method is rigorous, and importantly, I think that is. But even it's theoretical rigorous, but this is still concern here. So the better approach is actually that we combine, we say the algorithm simulation and we see panel study, or we can do some of the inside experiment to checking that whether the strategy generated by we say the computer is solid or not. But this will require a follow-up with the experimental study to checking that whether it's applicable or not.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys, from our student? No, if no question, I will move on.
Okay. No question.
Yeah. So now I will move on. So generally, I will present with two of my papers in detail, and so let our student understand how this kind of method can be used to solve with the tourism and hospitality problems. So the first research is actually about leveraging employee online reviews for improving hotel competitiveness in the Great Resignation. So this is of the first paper. So for this paper, the research background is the Great Resignation. So the Great Resignation is also called the Great Reshuffle. So it represents the phenomena that employees voluntarily quit their job or transfer to other industries. So this phenomenon is actually first observed in the 2021 in US and then spread globally. Especially in 2023, it's big when this paper has been developed, it actually becomes a big problem. Then the Great Resignation has actually influenced all the industries, but the hospitality and the tourism industry has been the hardest hit. So if you check in the quit rate of employees by industry in US and also in Australia, you'll find that the tourism and hospitality related industries, employees in that two industries has very high quit rate. Generally, they quit. They do not want to continue their career in the hospitality and the tourism industry. They move to other industries, just like the retail industry. So that is actually a big, we see the workforce problem in 2023. And also, we check the job vacancy rate in the hotel and the tourism related industries is significantly increased after the COVID-19. So at that time, many studies actually research how COVID-19 actually influenced employees' quit rate, because actually employees' quit rate has increased significantly. So a lot of studies have been done there to check in that how COVID-19 influenced employees' quit rate. And from this existing literature, so existing literature tells that, so COVID-19 has actually changed the factors that employees focus in their job experiences. So generally, COVID-19 led employees to rethinking their career and rethinking their way of doing work, actually. So some we see employees, they use it to highlight the monetary reward. After COVID-19, they actually focus more on the long-term job security. And some employees, they use it to focus this future career development, but they now transfer their attention to the family well-being. So the existing studies have seen that ignoring these changes has actually resulted in the increased negative employee experiences. So these negative employee experiences actually lead to the high levels of employee quit rate. The research gap here is actually there lacks empirical study to understand the aspect and also the factors that cause employees negative experiences, and also the changes of these factors caused by COVID-19. So in my study, I actually aim to fill this research gap. And the research objective.
Okay, question.
Yep.
The slide. Okay.
Yep.
So the COVID-19 comes to our life all of a sudden, and the people, hotels are shut down because of COVID-19. There's no such an industry like a tourism industry all of a sudden, stopped we cannot commit to each countries each other. And then people lost their job. And because of COVID-19, people are considering job security, from job security to the family well-being.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is actually taught from the existing literature. Because COVID-19, previously some employees, they focus on monetary reward, but they consider that they may need a job that have long-term job security.
Okay.
And some employees, they used to focus on future, we say the career development, but now they transfer to their family well-being, or they work, we say their well-being themselves. They don't want to work in the hotel industry actually.
Okay. How about the COVID-19 actually 2019 to 2021 and ending 22. And suddenly 22 starting AI. So people quit their job because of COVID-19 and they are not returning to our industry, and the job replacing by AI and robot. Can we analyze this this transition from COVID to the AI to robot, and how they are cementing that the COVID-19 situation to the robotic situation with AI?
Yes, I think some of the recent, not recent, so the research in the smart hotel, they actually have verified this claim actually. They have verified that the COVID-19 has actually facilitated the expansion of the smart hotel industry, because due to the COVID-19, a lot of robots and technology has actually been introduced in the hospitality industry. The COVID-19 is the main cause of the booming of the smart hotel, actually.
Right. So that means COVID-19 drive human management to the non-human management, which we call the smart hotel.
Yeah.
And then the things is replacing by AI and the robotics as much as they can.
Yeah, yeah. Technology obviously is the main driver force actually.
Right.
But the COVID-19 is external with the environmental driver force, always the most significant environmental driver force for this phenomenon.
Environmental driver force. One is from pandemic virus. Another is from technology. But anyway, the pandemic and technology is kind of a confounding factors.
Yeah, for the flourish of the smart hotel.
Right. That's good. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So the research objective of this study is actually to understand the factors that have led to hotel employees' negative experiences in the context of this Great Resignation, and also want to understand the changes in this factor to help organizations improve their employee experiences and therefore improve their competitiveness actually. Because at that time, competitiveness of the hotel is mainly determined by the staff that you have hired. Do you have the capacity to hire sufficient staff at that moment actually? So the specific research question that I explored in this study is firstly, what factors currently lead to hospitality employees' negative experiences? And also, what are the changes of these factors in the context of COVID-19? And third one is, what are the difference between these factors among different type of employees? Just like employees, they work on different positions. And also employee work in just like they say in different time in the hospitality industry. So the data that I have connecting is actually from the Glassdoor.com. So it's online job seeking platform, and the analysis the reviews, and the analytic technique I have used is the aspect level sentiment analysis and emerging pattern mining we have just covered. So this is figure 1 is actually shows the proposed analytical framework in this study. So generally that have all steps. The first step relate to connective reviews. Generally we connect the reviews. In the second step, actually apply the aspect level thinking analysis, identify the aspects that lead to the employee's selected experiences. And in the third step, I have actually applied the emerging pattern mining to capture the changes in this aspect. In the first step, actually have actually aspects that discuss the same factors has actually been grouped together because 103 with 123 or similar aspect, they actually discuss the same factor that influence employee experiences. So this is actually some theoretical framework that about the employee experiences. So generally for the key result, so this figure 2 is actually the top 15 aspects that contribute to hotel employees' legacy experiences and also their support. So the support is a concept in emerging pattern mining that denotes the frequency of the invested items. So generally from this figure 2, we can see that the frequent mentioned aspect that lead to hospitality employees' legacy experiences are hours of work, long hours of work actually, and also the work itself. And also we have pay, management, and also salary. So these are major, we say, the aspect that cost or contribute to hospitality employees' selective experiences. This table is actually show the changes in the support of this, we see the aspects that contribute to employees' selective experiences before and after the COVID-19. So we have identified 14 patterns, but generally from this table, it tells us after outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the consideration of the network and also the stress that contribute to hospitality employees' legacy experiences has increased significantly. And also the consideration of hour and the salary that contribute to hospitality employees' legacy experience also increased. Well, other we say the factors just like compensation, communication, employee, and also the job itself, the team, co-workers, it actually has been decreased, which means that this aspect is not important after the COVID-19, we say the pandemic. So yeah, this table is actually show the changes in the factors that lead to employees' selective experiences. You can see that one factor generally related to several aspects. Generally, stress, network, and working hour is generally related to the workload factor of the employee experiences. So from this table, we can see that after outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, the consideration of pay, we have consideration of pay is here, and also the workload that contribute to employee selective experiences has increased significantly. It's related to pattern P1 and P2, and others just like the company and the culture, benefits, co-workers, job, and the management that actually has been decreased significantly. This is actually not important for employees after the COVID-19. So we actually studied the detailed trend in the factors that contribute to the negative employee experiences after the COVID-19 pandemic. So generally, the consideration of the pay that contribute to the negative employee experiences has increased continuously in the 2021 and also the 2022. And for the workload, it decreased and then increased. So generally, this is because at the initial stage of the COVID-19, there is actually no customer, so the workload has actually been decreased. But when customer come back, because it doesn't have sufficient staff, then the workload has actually been increased. So that is the trends. And so generally, from the result, we can see that pay and the workload are two of the most important factors that contribute to the negative employees' experiences of hospitality in the hospitality industry after the COVID-19 pandemic. So after that, we actually have to do a profile analysis on these employees. So we actually found that the employees, they consider pay contribute to their negative experience are those who work in the industry in the 3 to 8 years, and also the less than years. And the position they hold is actually the front desk receptionist and the guest service agent and also the sales manager. These people or this staff is actually considering pay is a big problem for them. And also we have checking the workload. We found that for the employees, they work in the hospitality industry from 3 to 8 years and 1 to 3 years, they actually consider workload is a big problem for them. And also the server, front desk reception association and the sales manager, they considering that the workload is a big problem for them. So workload contributes most to their negative experiences. And also we have investigating the factors that lead to hospitality employee negative experiences with respect to the working time. We found that for this work in the hospitality industry for less than 1 year, the pay and the workload is a big problem for them. And also for this work in 3 to 1 year, and then the workload is only workload is a major concern. And for 8 to 3 years, then the pay and workload is a problem. And for this work more than 8 years, so they considering that job itself is the problem for them. So, and also we have checked the factors that lead to hotel employees' negative experiences with respect to the job title. We can find that different staff, different kind of staff, they actually focus on different aspects, and they actually considering that different factors contribute to their negative employee experiences. For front desk agent, they considering that management, pay, and the workload is contribute to their negative experience. And for sales manager, they considering that pay and the workload it can lead to their negative employee experiences. For server, they considering that workload is led to their negative employee experiences. And just like for general manager, they considering that management and the workload has actually led to their negative employee experiences. So the key result of this study is actually showing that the most prominent factor that led to hospitality employees' negative experiences after the COVID-19 pandemic is actually low pay and high working load. And also the factors that contribute to the negative experiences of employee in different positions and working time are significant difference. So generally, our result reveal this difference in 6 job positions. This actually highlight the importance of the customized HR strategy to attract, we say, the employees during that time. You need for employees working in 1 to 3 years, you need to have different offer, and for 3 to 8 years, you need to have different offer if you want to hire employees actually. And also, we found that the factors that contribute to negative employees of the negative experiences employees have changed significantly after COVID-19. So we actually revived these changes. So the major contribution of this study, firstly, this study is a novel attempt to understand different types of hospitality employees' perceptions about the negative experiences in the context of pandemic. The previous literature, they actually focus a lot about tourist experience. They actually focus on how COVID-19 have shaped and changed the tourist experiences, but they neglect the employee experiences. The employees that we consider that employee is also important stakeholders of the hospitality industry actually, because high employee, we say the appearances is actually can result to the high, we see the tourist experiences. If your employee experiences low, obviously you not have the high, we say the tourist experiences. And also, this study contribute to the detailed factors that lead to different type of hospitality employees' experiences. This actually help to understand the great resignation. So this is actually reflect a workforce problems in the hospitality industry after the COVID-19. Lastly, this study contribute to the hotel competitive literature by highlighting the pivotal role of employee experiences in contributing to hotels' competitiveness during and even after the COVID-19 pandemic, actually. So which means that for hotel competitiveness, previously I do a lot of work from the tourist perspective. If the tourists have high level of satisfaction, and we've seen that the hotel is competitive in the market, but we've seen that employee experience is also an important indicator of the competitiveness of hotels. So that is about
Okay.
the study. Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
It's very, very critical, outcomes caused by the COVID-19,
Yeah.
and you identify that major causes for the leaving this job place. Uh, and I would like to know, after COVID-19, we found out the main reason and and the the job the levels of job position. And nowadays, because of AI, people talking about AI is a great tool for upper level. So which means managers, they can utilize AI for
Mm,
increasing their productivity and efficiency.
mm,
And middle manager probably is do. But front managers or just beginners and steppers
mm,
probably they are not easy to find out their job opportunity because of AI,
mm,
and a lot of jobs are decreasing due to that the AI
mm.
emergence.
Yeah.
So, which is, if that is true,
Yeah.
probably if we reanalyze that outbreak of the AI
Mm,
since 22, and then we may find out again about an understanding of a great, resignation or
mm.
the job, you know,
Replacement.
employment placement,
Mm,
depending on the positions.
mm,
So, just a couple of weeks ago, um, the economist revealed that the very interesting outcomes, and because of AI, the higher job position is keep growing,
Yep.
and but lower job position like beginners or typical task position is decreased
Yeah.
because of AI.
Mm,
So people using AI as a tool and the utilities very well. So no longer higher middle and the beginning the stage of job uh, placement. So you are now is finding out the main causal influence from the COVID-19 for job position,
yeah.
and you can do the job position analysis because of AI,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
So generally, yeah, I actually list this topic in future research in my today's presentation. So generally, obviously, job replacement is an important issue, at least in our industry. We need to thinking about that, how
Mhm.
AI can be used ethically, and also, I think it's because tourism and hospitality industry is centered from the human.
Mhm.
So even AI is there, but we need to consider that in what situation we need to use AI, what kind of
Mhm.
service can delivered by AI, or what kind of service need to be delivered by staff,
Mhm.
because humanity is also important for our industry,
Mhm.
because human service, human touch,
Mhm.
um, at least it's still important. At least we can create AI that can we say a hybrid equal to a human that can provide we say the service that is perfectly equal to human. Maybe 20 years later or some 100 years later, this can becomes true. But for now, we actually still need thinking that the human touch is still important. We need to find a
Yes,
way
yes,
to combine human and employee and robot actually.
yes. That's the important point.
Mm.
Like what you're mentioning right now, our side is human touch is
Yeah.
very important
Mm.
for customer service, and a lot of things is conducted by human, hands-on experience.
Yeah.
So if the economist analysis is true, the
Mm.
high-end job position is keep increasing,
Yeah.
and the low-end job is decreasing because of AI. then if we found out, no, we are different in
Yes.
hospitality industry or tourism industry. Your analysis is from the general the aspect of AI
Mm,
impact, but
mm,
tourism industry we still need human touch and the human employment for taking care of the customers.
yes.
That if we found out that opposite outcomes of uh, the about robotic and AI impact compared to that general analysis of AI impact in the general jobs, and then we can say, okay, this area still human environment is essential part of our business.
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
That is important. So in some of my recent research, we actually found that the human touch is still important in hospitality industry. If we're
mm,
checking about the AI adoption rate,
mm,
in the oil industry, obviously it's increased. I think
mm,
especially in the logistic, we see the manufacturing industry. If you have a robot, they can work 24 hours, right?
mhm,
And efficiency is proof. But for hospitality industry, I think the answer, at least currently, the answer is no,
mm,
because human touch and emotion value provided by employees is still important in our industry, actually.
mm, mm,
So, yeah, unless you can create a robot that can provide, we say, the equals, totally
mm,
equals with the service with human, but
mm,
that is not true, at least for now.
mm. Okay. Okay, good. Mm,
Yep. Okay, and the second one is about the destination competitive research over the past 3 decades of computational review using the topical modeling. So generally, this is a review paper. So I start before introducing that paper, I actually want to introduce some of conceptual background because related to review because I know we have a lot of the postgraduate students here. Um, so firstly is actually what is lit review and actually why we need lit review. So lit review is actually the overview of the previous published work on a specific topic, just like destination competitiveness, smart hotel, and also if you focus on destination marketing, it's actually a specific, we say, the related literature in your topic. And this is actually related to make sense of the previous research. This is about the lit review. And then why we need a lit review? Because actually in doing every research, we need a lit review. And so, but sometimes we do not need an independent lit review. But anyway, we will need a lit review to do research. Why is that? Because firstly, the process of scientific knowledge building is cumulative. So our effort are very tiny part. My effort to definition competence is actually a very tiny part. Everyone's effort is a very tiny part. So we must know what went before we make novel contributions. So, which means that we need to understand what are there, and then we can make the novel contributions. And also, we need to understand what body of knowledge we are currently contributed to. So obviously, we will always need a lit review to doing research. Every research needs a lit review. So for independent lit review, there have actually different type of lit review method. So we have narrative lit review. Narrative literature is a qualitative synthesis of the literature on a topic without systematic research protocol. So this generally produced by researchers. They actually working in that area for several years, just like 20 years, 30 years. They're actually familiar with the development of that specific field. So they can develop a very high quality narrative literature. And the next one is a descriptive literature. Descriptive literature relates to systematic examining and that describe characteristics of existing studies in a specific field without synthesis their findings. This is about descriptive review. Descriptive review generally about tell you what are there. And also we have scoping review. Scoping review is a systematic approach that maps the breadth of research on a topic to identify the specific gaps, clarify the concept, determine the scope of the available evidence. So it's about scoping lit review. And the most commonly used in tourism and hospitality research is systematic lit review, actually. So systematic lit review is a quantitative or qualitative synthesis of the research on a specific topic using structured and replicable search and selection protocols. So generally, you will see what we call the PRISPA protocols in the systematic lit review. So these are the existing lit review techniques. And the problem with this existing lit review lit review method is most of them are suitable for review a small number of papers. So considering systematic lit review, it's normally suitable for review the papers with more than, we say, the 200 journal papers. If you check in the lit review in your field, most of them actually have reviewed more than less than, we say, the 200 papers or less than 300 papers. And then the problem is actually the publication rate is exponential. So there is actually approximately 2.5 million new articles published each year. So this exponential growth of publications make lit review extremely labor intensive. So especially if you're working on some well-established, we say, the topic that has been studied maybe 30 years or 40 years. So which actually means that a new lit review method that can review a large number of papers is actually required. So this is actually comes to the computational lit review. The computational lit review is a structured process that uses ability of AI method to analyze the content of literature on a particular research topic. So generally, in computational lit review, we're using the capability of AI to assist researchers conducting lit review that can reduce the researchers, we say, the workload to review all the, we say, the articles. So that is about computational lit review. So in my paper, the research questions is actually how to comprehensively review the research topics and the themes studied in the large volumes of the destination competitive literature to identify theoretical lenses and also research gaps that can advance the definition, evaluation, and improvement of the destination competitiveness concept. So before start my lit review, obviously I have to do a lit review. So I have actually checking the existing lit reviews on destination competitiveness. I found that they actually have one narrative lit review, and most of them actually are systematic lit review with more than actually 200 publications. The problem of this existing lit review is actually they only examine a limited number of journal articles from the predefined, we say, the themes, just like the factors that influence destination competitiveness. So they are not able to provide a comprehensive overview of the broad destination competitive literature and also the detailed research topics and themes studied in this broad, we see, the destination competitive literature. Now, the topic has actually been studied for 30 years. A lot of the papers has actually been developed in that field. So I want to conduct a comprehensive lit review that can guide future research. So I see that potential reasons for the existing literature doesn't provide such comprehensive lit review because the method used, just like the narrative lit review and the systematic lit review, they are unable to extract the thematic information from the larger volume of the academic publications. So in this lit review, I actually developed a computational lit review framework that uses the capability of AI algorithm to extract thematic information from the textual data to enhance human information processing capability, review the large volumes of the destination competitive literature. So this literature actually covered 1,100 destination competitive studies from journals, conference proceedings, books, and book chapters. So this is actually the most comprehensive literature review on destination competitiveness so far. So this figure 1 actually shows the developed computational literature framework. It actually have 3 components. The first one about literature connection. So generally the publications on destination competitiveness in 2 database. Scopers on websites are connected. And also we have statistical analysis. This is most commonly component in many literature reviews. So in statistic analysis part, the descriptive feature of the definition competitive literature, just like the number of publications in each year has actually, and also the impact of scholars and publications are analyzed. And the last one is actually the topic analysis. This is the most unique one. So I'm using the topic modeling technique to identify the topics and the themes studied in the destination competitive literature. And also, I have actually extracted trends of topics and also themes studied in the destination competitive literature to identify the research gaps. So that is what I have to do in this little review. So about topical modeling is an unsupervised machine learning technique. So that is designed to extract topics in a collection of documents. So in this study, the documents is actually the destination competitive related papers. So if you have 1,000 papers, then you put it here. If you have 2,000 papers in you, we say the topic, you just put it here, there. But if you have, we say the 10 papers in your field, you do not need to do a computational review, obviously. You can use in the narrative review or you can use in the systematic review. That is the better approach for your domain. So generally, this is not obviously the perfect method. So if you have small number of data in your, we say, field, do not go with computational review, okay? So this is actually about the result of the statistic analysis. So we actually show the trends of the definition competitive publications. It's actually increased significantly in the last, we say, the 30 years. And also, we have shown the most popular publication source on destination competitiveness. Obviously, most of them are published on the, it's actually journal article. And for the journals that publish most destination competitive papers, we have tourism management and also the kind of tourism economics and kind of issues in tourism and journal of destination marketing and management and so on. So, and also we have identified the top 5 publications and also the top 10 researchers. This kind of knowledge is important for new scholars in that field. So if you are a PhD student, you can conduct this kind of the statistical analysis in you with the topic that can help you quickly identify important with the publications and important scholars in your field. And also the important with the publication venues in your field actually. So, and then move to the topic analysis. So by conducting this, we say the computational review, actually identified top 24 topics that are studied in the destination competitive literature, such as the attributes that determine destination competitiveness and also the evaluation index of destination competitiveness and the information technologies, the attitudes influence on destination competitiveness and so on. So generally we have themes emerged from these 24 topics which is that relate to the attributes determining destination competitiveness and evaluation method of destination competitiveness, particular aspects that influence destination competitiveness, and also the competitiveness of specific type of destinations, and also the general destinations, competitive general destinations, and the DEA method. So that is actually the topics that, the themes that studied in the existing destination competitive literature. And also, I have identified the popularity of different topics and themes in the existing destination competitive literature. So, yeah, the popularity has actually been represented using the this we call the normalized topic and theme frequency. So generally, we can see that the most frequently studied topic and also the themes in the destination competitive literature is actually the particular aspect of destination competitive and also the attributes of the destination competitiveness. And the next one is actually about the trend of this topic and in the destination competitive literature. So generally, we can actually studied what kind of the theme has actually been increased in the past 30 years and what kind of the themes has been decreased. What is popular now is what is not popular. So by analyzing these trends, so for researchers, they can choose to investigate with the popular trends popular topics or the popular VC themes. But also you can study VC this not popular trends to do the big VC innovation. Some topic is not popular now. I think it's not because they are not important. They may lack with a new angle to analyze this kind of the topics. Yeah. So this is actually popularity of topic theme that currently being studied in destination competitive research. So we see that the most popular topics and the theme studied in destination competitive research is actually this one, the blue one is particular aspect of destination competitiveness. So generally by analyzing the topics, themes, and the mapping between topic themes, popularities, and also trends, actually identify several of the future research directions, just like exploring new theoretical perspectives and to enrich existing destination competitive definition and evaluation, and also investigating targeted and optimal strategies to help destinations improve their competitiveness, and also investigating the competitive destinations beyond the administrative areas, just like a country, because a lot of the study, the considering destination competitiveness, the destination is actually, the considering destination is a country. But actually, obviously, no. Destination is a conceptual, we see the perceptual concept constructed by tourists. It's not a city, not a country. So it can be a specific region. It's also a destination. And the last one about exploring the competitive specific type of destinations, taking into account the unique characteristic of tourism market. So that is some of the future research directions that I have observed. So yeah, this is about this study. And yeah, any questions before we move on? Because I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Wow. My question is destination competitiveness is a general topic in tourism field,
Yeah.
and a lot of papers already published in competitive advantage
Yeah.
and competitive advantage, and they provide the framework for competitive
Yes.
destination competitiveness.
Yeah.
And then I slightly study on the competitive advantage, and
Yeah.
I found out they try to the causal relationship
Mm.
using of nomological literature review.
Yeah.
What's the main driver for gaining
Destination. Yeah.
destination competitiveness?
Yeah.
So, which which is uh, uh, is a it's okay paper when 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And when and Dwyer and Dr. Kim Chon and the Boris, those guys
Mm.
still as a researcher, but they when they study this competitive destination competitiveness, they adopting the theoretical framework from business like Michael Porter's and Jay Barney's papers, and
Yeah.
then they adapting that kind of a competitiveness,
Mm.
industrial competitiveness or resource competitiveness
Mm.
to our field.
Yeah.
Here's my question, okay? It's
Yeah.
acceptable at that time. Now it's changing fastly
Yeah.
from that aspect to, like, for example, South Korea, as you know, a lot
Mm.
of people coming to South Korea because of K-pop and Netflix and drama
Yeah.
and and probably dining and
Mm.
Korean
Good.
food tourism sort of things.
Yeah.
So the media effect and the entertainment effect is quite linked to that resource and source of competitiveness.
Yeah.
So if we take the example of South Korea,
Yeah.
how they got the destination competitiveness,
Mm.
and comparing to that previous literature, like when you have done,
Yeah.
probably South Korea is uniquely positioned in destination competitiveness because of K-pop, K-drama, sort of things. Is cultural aspect. However, there is a peculiar position and peculiar symptom. So what if we are okay? I want to analyze South Korea's destination competitiveness, how they uniquely positions out of that general aspect. Okay,
Yeah.
your paper here, we can provide. Oh, this is a South Korean case. So
Yeah.
South Korean case is never comparing to others.
Yeah.
Is very unique position.
Mm.
Can you do that like that way?
Yes, I think you're actually highlighting a very important trend in the destination comparative research.
Uh,
Nearly we say the 20 years ago,
mm,
when Larry and Larry Dwyer and obviously they are very famous scholars in the destination comparative field.
mhm.
They actually focus on developing theoretical frameworks
Yes.
that can explain. From my perspective, I call it explain the competitive phenomena.
Mhm,
They want to explain what kind of factors that influence destination competitiveness. After several years, maybe 20 years of we say the refine of their models, their theoretical model is quite complex, comprehensive. Just like
uh,
they have 30 or 40 with the factors
uh,
that influence destination competitiveness.
uh-huh.
And then they want what they want. They think that okay, they have just like number of tourists, number of we say um, unique resources you have, a number of maybe the current the exchange rate, something this kind of things influence destination competitiveness. If we want to compare the competitiveness between different destinations, what we can do is just like we using this tool and to measure, we say, and then have comparison.
Mm,
But this is good. But from my perspective, I think that for competitiveness, we see that every destination they have certain kind of uniqueness.
mm,
It actually cannot be benchmarked. A competitor, I think, is very difficult to benchmark.
mm,
So if we check in that zero theoretical framework, obviously they explain the destination competitive phenomenon well. But when you apply this kind of the theoretical framework to evaluate a specific destination, you always find something new that contradict with all the other something not present in their theoretical framework. Or there is some we see the factors that actually not important in specific destination. So for destination competitiveness, I think that is not only highlighted by me. A lot of researchers that in that field highlighted we appreciate the uniqueness of a specific destination to identify why specific destination is unique as a competitiveness, actually, just like you have mentioned.
mm.
Mm.
So destination competitiveness is a widely well-known topics, and people talking about okay, like heritage and culture
Yeah,
and something towards the activity and nature.
yeah,
Uh,
important
there are those determinant for
outcome.
for destination competitiveness.
Yeah,
So, for
yeah,
example, Japan is comparing to Korea, and
yeah,
Japan is there's a vast the resource of the tourism,
yep,
and they are also highlight very well their own traditional identity, like a
mm,
sushi and their
mm,
culture and kimono and their like a lot of unique and traditional the items for attracting tourists
good, yeah,
and China as well.
yeah,
And China is one of the biggest destinations
mm,
heritage site, and Korea is a bit different aspect currently, because of media, because of uh, dancers and K-pop drama.
mm,
That's the main driving people come to Korea.
yeah,
If that is true, and we can okay, Korea is a bit outlier of destination competitiveness.
yeah, yeah,
They come to the Korea because of K-pop influence and K-drama and Netflix and
yeah,
sort of things. So we may suggest, okay, Korea is a unique outlier of a destination competitiveness comparing to China, Japan, and other European
Yeah.
continents.
But,
So
mm,
what do you think about that point?
I actually agree. So from my perspective, competitiveness is actually, especially in the tourism context, competitiveness is a very tricky, we say, the concept that can be difficult to benchmark.
Okay.
If you check in the competitive, maybe in the manufacturing industry, we can use in the productivity as an indicator of competitiveness. If you can
Yes.
produce some of the product that quicker than me, then you are competitive in the market.
Mm.
But in tourism service, it's not only about efficiency,
Mm.
right? And also, it's also not only related to the, I think it's hard to benchmark. Uniqueness is actually matter. Different places that have their unique culture and unique service
Mm.
that actually attract people.
Mm.
So I think, yeah. So sometimes I think that's why when we analyze the competitiveness of a specific destination, we actually not comparing with others. Because how to identify competitors in the tourism context is quite difficult.
Mm.
Because every place have certain kind of uniqueness.
Mm. Okay.
For competitive, we say the theoretical framework that most of them actually from the economic perspective. So from my recent thinking, I think directly apply this kind of theoretical framework is actually have some problem need to explore further because we are not in a manufacturing industry actually. We have unique characteristics of our industry. Just like you can see that AI is important. AI can facilitate, we say, the can increase, we say, the efficiency. Maybe important in other industries, but not in tourism. We still need human touch. But then in competitive, I would say we still need uniqueness and authentic. It's still important. We are not in an industry that focus on, we say, the productivity.
Yes, 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 yes. Authentic is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is some of my thinking, but I still need to we say, the future research. I adjusted some thinking actually.
Okay.
So this is about this research. So the conclusion, this is actually about my today's presentation is the application of AI method in the tourism and hospitality studies actually create enormous research opportunities. Even at the initial stage, so this application demonstrates exciting achievement in understanding mainly we see the problems in the tourism and hospitality industry. But obviously they deserve more future research attention. From my perspective, the application of this kind of the method is still in the initial stage. Is quite new compared to the tourism and the hospitality as a research discipline itself. So a lot of work can be done. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So about to future research direction. So most of the existing tourism literature that they actually focus on using descriptive AI and the predictive AI method. If you check in the literature, which means that for future research direction, inclusive and prescriptive AI method application will be important. We can check in that how using this kind of inclusive and predictive AI method to solve interesting we see the research problems. And importantly, we have generative AI. Generative AI is emerging technologies. They actually has less been explored in the existing tourism and hospitality literature. But generative AI can be used to address many interesting research questions because they are the cutting edge or the latest we see the AI technology. So with new technology, we obviously can thinking about new problems or some problems that we traditionally cannot solve. So yeah, and also existing literature, when we're talking about AI, when we're talking about the AI applications in tourism, hospitality, management, even general business field, most of the we're considering that the positive impact. We're considering that competitiveness they considering that, cost saving, innovation, improved efficiency, better customer insight, and the better risk management, and so on. But from my perspective, the problems of AI and the technical applications in the tourism, hospitality, management, and business field is also important. We say the topic that need future research is quite important, even than the positive side. Just like we have the job displacement, we have just actually discussed with Professor Chomo. Is that the problem we need to study, right? And also lack of human element. This is important for the hospitality industry and also the tourism industry, right? This is also a problem caused by AI application. And also the ethical issues and the cost considerations, data privacy and the security issues is also important. We need to study that part. Okay. And also the potential for bias. And also we see that is there the bias in the social media, we say the platforms, and also the bias on this tourism, we say marketing platforms. So this potential problem, I think that is more important to we say the research question that we need to study maybe in the next 10 years. Because currently in this decades, a lot of research effort is actually focused on the positive impact of AI. From my perspective, in the next 10 years, then more research attention should be paid on the problems of AI, and then we can see all the dark side of AI applications. And also, importantly, I think a future research direction is about technical for social goods, because we actually apply this kind of technology. We want to create a better world. We do not want to create many trouble to our society. So I think one important research direction would be how can we use AI to efficiently address social challenges and support the sustainable development goals through the tourism. So AI will be a driving force to tourism development, and tourism development will be driving force for us to solve our social challenges, just like the poverty and also the sustainable issues actually. So I think that will be an important topic we can study in the next few years. So I think that is all from my today's presentation. Any other questions?
Okay.
Comments? Yeah.
Okay. Open up questions for students. Students, any question for these topics to Dr. Xiang? Haiyang? Okay, our students are probably
not too familiar with that topic, maybe.
Not familiar with that, and
you need some time to digest the content. Yeah.
Okay. I understand why. Anyway, I have a lot of questions for you, but time is out of time. So anyway, one thing is I'm asking you to can you present this topic for 20 minutes in Macau special session? If you can do the destination competitiveness with AI or new direction. And I can invite a panelist from like Dr. Cholhon Kim. He supposed to come to Macau, and Boalis come to Macau. So they are all major contributors to the destination competitiveness. So if you can present this destination competitiveness with AI, is gonna be very, very interesting topics for our attendee in Macau.
I'm planning to present a different topic that is about smart
I mean,
hotel.
a special session. I'm going to compose a special session for destination competitiveness with AI in Macau. Then I can be able to invite those great, scholars for your sessions. It's 19th of December, Friday afternoon.
Friday. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe I can.
Okay, I will send the email to you and the other the scholars as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Chomo. Yeah.
Oh, sure, sure. I'm very happy to understand more detail about your research, and then I can do work further with you, collaboration on tourism topics and hospitality, which is my field, but I need your research method and techniques and methodology. It's going to be my competitiveness.
Yeah, so generally for Macau travel, I would like to present our latest study in the smart hotel. So it's actually discussing about the human touch, the importance of human touch in the smart hotel industry. That
Mm.
actually have just
Once again, here in the tourism students and hospitality students, we cannot survive without our knowledge. Knowledge is a so common, one these days. Everybody know that, but how to we provide and how to we generate those knowledge with causality, with the competitiveness. Definitely, Haiyang Xia is a computer guy and a computer scientist. So computer scientists, MIS guys, management information guys, they are all keen on our field as well because
yeah
they are tourists as well. And a lot of the tourists and a lot of the residents, they generate text information onto their social media and then AI using. That means our field is open for everybody,
yeah
and our field is fascinating to everybody, social
yeah
scientist and business scientist and computer scientist, which means if we are not understand those skills like them, you know, your position will be very risky. My position also very risky. So it's a survivor game. So I hopefully our classroom this time, our students, you must you know understand what's going on right now with AI and other field and other scientists. So this is a warning seminar for for students,
but
definitely.
but but
Okay.
by the way, Professor Tomo, I just
Mm.
thinking that maybe you can check in whether Gang have time to participate in this kind of this special with the panel discussion. Maybe
Sure, sure.
um, he is
If
more the qualified than me to deliver this such kind of
no, no, no.
thing.
Okay. I was thinking about inviting you and Gang and others people
Maybe.
together.
Uh,
So,
I
so I'm
just
going to inviting the combination tourism,
mm,
management information system, and computer science.
yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
I'm just thinking that they're all big names. I'm just a PhD
Oh,
graduate. Yeah,
your name will be soon big
stressful,
name.
a bit stressful.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thank you for
students.
inviting me. Yeah, for this presentation.
One last comment from the Haiyang Xia
Yep.
for our students.
I think tourism is quite easy, inclusive field, just like Professor Chomo have mentioned. We need actually, I think in the future, we need conduct, we say the cross-disciplinary research, or it was at least within disciplinary research. We need to read a lot of the papers, we need checking that when you look um, out of our own field, frankly speaking, computer science, psychology, and also sociology. This is also something that we need to
That's
explore.
right. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Thank you very much, students. Today, again, we the semester fastly ending soon, so just a couple of times we still remain. Look forward to see you next week again. Thank you.